What's going on, guys? Derek here from Wilson Audio Labs. Sure you guys are curious. How can you get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube? Well, stick around. I'm going to tell you how I did it and how you can do the same.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
In this video, I'm going to give you some suggestions about how to succeed in YouTube, and I'm going to give you a recipe, some steps, one by one, about how I did it. My first suggestion is decide on your passion. You know, what you want to make your content about. If it's something you're an expert in, something that you enjoy as a hobby, something that just excites you, it's very important that you choose something to make your videos about that you're excited about. Because if you're not excited, your audience is going to know, and it's not going to be very interesting, honestly. So that's my suggestion one. Pick something that excites you, that you're passionate about. Number two, I would say choose a specialized subject. Don't be really broad in your video content. Now, there are some people who do this and are successful, but honestly, most of the time you have to be pretty focused in and pretty specialized in your area. For example, I do mainly car audio. Now, I also do some home audio, home video, things like that, but that's still a pretty focused area if you think about it, because you have consumer electronics, you have audio equipment, you have car audio, you have amplifiers. So I'm pretty far down the chain, and even further than that, old school, which I do new as well now, but you see what I'm getting at? So if you just had a channel that was electronics, then what you're gonna do, cameras, you're gonna do home theater, you're gonna do car radios. I mean, that's kind of broad, and it could work, but I would say in the beginning, focus in on a razored specific area, and that way you'll get an audience, and if they like your content, they'll stick around, and then, hey, I might wanna watch whatever else, you know, you decide to create. But in the beginning, I think it's better to be razor focused in a specific area. The other thing is, this is number three, you must plan and you must execute. It's two different steps there, because a lot of people plan to do videos, they talk about it, talk with friends, maybe even create a document, you know, with going through the steps and the storyboarding and things like that. That's great, but if you spend all your time on how I'm going to do my video and not creating the video, then you're never going to get your content out. So I would say make sure that you make videos, and don't worry about them being perfect, because I'm going to show you some of mine here that were horrible. And over the years, you learn how to better yourselves in your videos. But everybody has to start somewhere, and you learn as you go. You build your audience as you go. Nobody expects perfection right off the bat. And in fact, you can spend a whole lot of time trying to create the perfect video, and it doesn't even matter, because so many people are watching on cell phones and small screens. You're spending all this time trying to get it all perfect.
You big dummy.
And they really just want the content. They really want what your field expertise is. You know, show your passion, make an interesting video. Then you're good. You must be consistent. Must be consistent. If you don't upload on a regular schedule, I recommend once a week. I found out that works well for me. I do have a full-time job outside of YouTube, so it gives me some time to create one video per week, even though it's still really difficult. It's very important that you stay consistent, because the YouTube algorithm kind of picks up on that, and also your subscribers pick up on that. In my experience, I would say choose a schedule, whatever day works best for you. I find Sundays work best for me, but you may find a different day. You can keep trying different days until you find which one fits your audience. That's what I would say. Make sure you're consistent in your video releases. All right, number five, engage your audience. Make sure you spend time answering the comments. Answer the questions people ask. It's very important. I know it's difficult, and the larger your channel gets over time, the more time you'll have to devote to that. But it's so important. I try to set aside at least a couple hours a day, which is difficult in a lot of ways, but going through and answering comments and just replying and just joking around with the people who are there. It's important to ask for constructive criticism, but you also have to understand some of the YouTube commenters are there just to egg you on and just to try to make you upset. And I don't know if their mama slapped them last night or something, or they got beat up by their older brother, whatever. You're going to get those comments that are really going to just make you mad and just fire you up. And you're saying, I can't believe I'm doing this. And somebody's got to say something stupid like that. Ignore the negative stuff. Take the positive and also take the constructive criticisms and say, hey, it would be cool if you had a little bit more secondary or B-roll is what we call it in your videos, and not just a single shot of you or whatever you talking. Take things like that as constructive criticism and use it to better yourself. Don't be afraid to learn. So the video process, creating videos, uploading videos, getting good audio, all that stuff is a learning process. But again, don't be afraid just to start and try and see how it works, and then you can modify it as you go. You're not going to have a perfect video the first time you upload unless you're an expert already, or you're a professional, or you hire somebody to help you do it. And sure, some people will do that and some people can do that, but what I say is just start. Use your cell phone, something like that, and get going and get your content out there, and then you get a feel about how people react to it. You cannot be afraid to fail. That's one of the easiest ways to understand how to make things better, is you have to try, and then you're either going to succeed or you're going to fail. So if you fail, then you'll learn, hey, wow, I don't need to do that again. Don't get frustrated when things don't go right. If your audio is not right in one of the videos, or somebody makes a comment that you said something wrong or provided the wrong data in your video or something, it's okay. That's a learning experience. You can correct it in the video comments, the video description, and just tell people, hey, I made a mistake, I'm human. But it is important to understand that you're gonna fail, and don't let it get you down. But you can also learn from your successes. You have something that goes well, you have a video that gets a lot more views than your other ones. Then you learn and say, hey, well, I understand what the audience wants to see, what the new viewers who haven't seen my channel want to see. So you have to take both the failures and the successes and learn how to move forward with those. All right, so the next item is be patient, okay? You're gonna have to understand, it's like when you watch the infomercials late at night, you see about how people make millions of dollars in a very short amount of time. That doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen very often. It's like becoming a pro in the NBA. There's so many people who were really good basketball players in high school, really good in college, but very few of them get to pro. It's the same thing with YouTube. There's very few people who are going to make a living doing YouTube. You have to have reasonable expectations, but you also have to have patience. So if you build over time, for example, me, to get 100,000 subscribers took me almost 10 years of uploading videos to YouTube. I had about 500 videos at the time when I hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you figure in the amount of time and effort I put into all my videos, the time it took me to get 100,000, how much I made with AdSense over that time, I could have worked at McDonald's flipping burgers and made more money than I made on YouTube. But I learned a lot. Now I'm making a pretty decent, consistent income off of YouTube because of what I've built over the years, right? Build it and they will come, modify it and they will like it better, kind of thing. And it's something I want to do anyway. This is a passion, which I've talked about already, a passion that I portray to you guys who are watching. So I don't want to work at McDonald's. I want to make videos about equipment and about stuff that I enjoy. That's what's important. It's also extremely important to not try to game the system. Don't buy views. Don't spam, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook and all that stuff constantly, and go into groups and posting links and all that without gaining some respect from the people who run the groups and people that are on the forums and things like that. That is not the best way to grow your stuff. The best way to grow it is to kind of let it grow organically. If you buy clicks, if you buy views, if you buy subscribers, what happens is you'll get an influx, but then these people aren't going to watch your content anyway because they're just bought. So it's not going to work out for you in the long term. You really want people who are going to engage in your content, engage in your channel, engage with comments, things like that. And if they're just there because they got paid, then they're just going to come do that and leave and never come back. And you have to remember, YouTube income revenue is based on video views. It's not based on the number of subscribers you have. You could have 20 million subscribers, and if you're only getting 500,000 views a month, you're not making as much as somebody who's getting 1 million views a month. You have to understand that you want to organically grow your audience so that you'll have more engagement, you'll have more view time, you'll have more views, thus you'll make more money. If that's important to you, for me, it's not my primary reason why I do this right now, but it always helps to say, hey, I'm doing this, as my hobby, jobby, if you want to call it that, but I'm making money on my jobby. This is not going out and spending money on four-wheelers and hunting stuff and all this and never getting anything back other than something hanging up on your wall, big old antlers. But if you guys like that, don't take that wrong. What I meant was I enjoy what I do as my hobby, and I enjoy making the content, and I also enjoy making a little bit of money from it. It's a win-win-win. So the next tip I have is to offer to help bigger YouTubers that are in the same area or the same type of field that you're in. But make sure that you offer something that's going to pay them back, because they have probably very little time to engage, doing collaborations with somebody who doesn't know what they want to do.
This is not a Mickey Mouse program.
They haven't proven that they're going to build content. So make sure if you go to them, hey, I can help you by providing you pictures that you may need, or I can, provide some audio that you may need, or I can edit your video or help you, some skill that I have that would help the bigger YouTuber. So doing things like that, and if you can do collaborations, work yourself into it, that's a great way to grow your channel, is to show, because it's hard to get noticed on YouTube, right? There's so many people, there's so much content that's uploaded, unless you have some help along the way, which, yes, I've received help. Steve Mead, Car Audio Fabrication, Soundman, the list goes on with the ones who've actually helped me along the way and mentioned my channel, things like that. But, I've tried to do things to help them as well, so it all works together. It's very important to do collaborations if you can, but just figure out how to work them out. So I hope this has been helpful. Thanks as always for watching my videos, engaging in my comment, smashing the thumbs up, appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed yet and would consider subscribing to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. So as always, until next time, you know where Big D is. I'm out of here. I left some links in the video description to other YouTube resources for growing your channel and how to do those type things. In addition, I have my very first video uploaded here, which is horrible. I'm just going to show you a few seconds of it. Okay, all you Rockford Fosgate fanatics, I've got a little treat for you here. We're going to go over some Rockford Fosgate history. Yeah, I know it was bad. I'm not sure when I was doing my voice, but there you have it. There's my old, very first video that I uploaded to YouTube for as far as car audio goes. You can also check links in the video description. I'll have a more recent video so you can see how I've kind of progressed over the years. But as always, thank you guys for watching, subscribing to my channel. Hope you guys have a great one. Until next time, Big D, I'm out of here.